Sometimes, the most visible family on YouTube isn't the happiest one behind the camera. And for Saki Norris, it seems like the spotlight comes with a lot more shade than fans realize. If you've been following the Norris Nuts for any length of time, you probably know the dynamic, challenges, pranks, and the ever-present family branding that keeps everything looking perfect online. But lately, something about Saki Norris has caught the attention of viewers not for her stunts or challenges, but for the way she keeps ending up in the crosshairs, both online and within her own family circle, and before anyone jumps insane. Oh, it's just normal sibling teasing. This isn't about playful jokes or harmless ribbing. It's about moments that make fans pause and ask themselves if Saki might actually be experiencing a form of bullying disguised as humor. It's hard to ignore the pattern, from being labeled the most hated sibling by parts of the fandom, to having to apologize for things that barely warranted one, to seemingly being overlooked in family decisions. Saki somehow always ends up as the target. And now, a recent video from the Pucker Up series has fans questioning whether some of the teasing might extend beyond her immediate family. In this particular clip, Embry casually mentions searching for Saki's Instagram during a group discussion. On paper, it sounds completely innocent, but the delivery, laughing and being laughed at by everyone else in the room, made viewers pause. Why is Saki's Instagram the punchline? Fans immediately started dissecting it, trying to understand if it was just a casual joke or something more pointed. The fan reactions were split. Some argued that Embry was clearly poking fun at Saki. Others defended her, pointing out that Embry had previously expressed wanting to be friends with Saki, and that she couldn't possibly be bullying her. Yet others still called it a mean girl moment, suggesting the joke carried undertones of teasing that wouldn't be tolerated if directed at another sibling. This is exactly what makes the situation so complicated when you consider how often Saki finds herself being laughed at, criticized, or put in awkward positions. A small moment like this doesn't exist in a vacuum. Fans can't help but wonder if there's a deeper pattern at play. A lot of viewers have voiced their concern, pointing out that Saki is often stuck between extremes. On one hand, she's old enough to be judged like an adult. On the other, she's expected to maintain the role of the perfect Norris kid without complaint. Compare that to her siblings, Saber and Nas, who get praised for being relatable and having normal teen experiences. Even Biggie, despite being younger and occasionally acting sheltered, receives more sympathy. Saki, however, seems to get the short end of the stick. She's criticized for things others get away with, praised less frequently, and rarely given the kind of leeway that would allow her to just be herself. Moments like the Embry Instagram mention don't just read as harmless jokes to her supporters. They feel like yet another reminder of how Saki is often made the target of teasing and laughter that her siblings and peers might not face. It's not just about these isolated incidents, though. Fans have also been paying attention to the way Brooke and Justin, the Norris parents, manage the family brand. Many have described the setup as controlling. Rules, schedules, and family decisions are tightly managed, leaving little room for the kids to express autonomy. The family's on-camera persona of happiness and harmony is polished to perfection, but fans suggest that the reality behind the scenes is much different. Take, for example, the infamous room-sharing controversies. Even after moving into a new dream house, Saki repeatedly ends up at the bottom of the room allocation list. The situation might sound minor, but when you consider the context, filming all day, a crowded household, and little personal space, it starts to look like a much bigger problem. In one clip, the family debates who should get which room. The usual pattern emerges: Saki is overlooked, while her siblings claim spaces that better suit their needs or personalities. It's not just about comfort, it's about agency and being able to control a small corner of her life. And the fact that this keeps happening despite fans calling for fairness only amplifies the perception that Saki is undervalued in family decisions. Fans have also noted the toll of constant filming and homeschooling. The older kids, particularly Saki, are expected to uphold the perfect family image while juggling rigid schedules, early mornings, and limited social interactions outside the family circle. Saki herself had acknowledged the strain, explaining how early bedtimes, structured routines, and constant surveillance make it hard to decompress. And while these might seem like small complaints, for a teenager trying to navigate personal growth and social development, it's significant. This level of control extends to content as well. The Norris Nuts are known for their upbeat, drama-free videos, but fans have pointed out that editing plays a major role in curating this image. Conflicts are cut or reframed, tense moments are minimized, and the perfect family aesthetic is maintained at all costs. For Saki, this means that expressing frustration or asserting boundaries risks breaking the carefully managed narrative, potentially putting her in further conflict with both fans and family expectations. Even milestones, like moving into a new house, are treated more like content than genuine life changes. The family repeatedly teased their dream house over the years, showing off million-dollar listings and stage tours. Meanwhile, real-life challenges like Saki lacking her own personal space get pushed aside, and fans argue that this is where the pressure mounts when your life becomes content. Small slights and daily frustrations are amplified. The combination of strict rules, curated public image, and limited autonomy creates a situation where it's easy to see why fans might worry about Saki's well-being. They notice the tension behind the smiles, the moments of genuine frustration, and the repeated instances where she's sidelined in favor of others. The Embry Instagram moment, when you look at it through this lens, isn't just a casual joke, it's one more piece in a long-running pattern fans see Saki consistently being the target, and that repetition adds weight to even seemingly minor incidents. It's not hard to understand why people react strongly to moments like this. They're seeing a child navigate a world that's demanding more control, more perfection, and more visibility than most teenagers ever face. And it's not just room, allocation, or teasing online. Fans point to the broader structure of the Norris Nuts operation as reinforcing these dynamics. Brooke and Justin's management style, combined with homeschooling, early routines, and constant filming, creates an environment where older kids, especially Saki, have little say. Even small choices like bedtime or workout schedules feel less about discipline and more about maintaining control over the family brand. This extends into the way interactions with friends and outside peers are limited. Saki and her siblings often have a very narrow social circle, consisting mainly of family and a few close friends. When your world is so tightly managed, the pressure to perform on camera and maintain appearances only grows. Add to that the constant comparisons between siblings. Saber and Nez are praised for relatability. Biggie receives sympathy for being sheltered, and Saki is often judged more harshly than any of them. Every joke, every minor criticism, every room allocation decision seems to feed into this narrative that she is the least favored sibling, regardless of her actual actions or intentions. And while some might say this is just the nature of family dynamics, the combination of public scrutiny and private pressure magnifies these issues exponentially. Online, fans dissect every moment, and off camera, the kids are expected to follow strict schedules and adhere to parental expectations. For Saki, the cumulative effect is significant. All of this leads to one major concern: burnout. Fans have noted that Saki's rare moments of frustration are normal human reactions, but they also reveal how demanding this lifestyle can be. Living in a crowded house, following a strict routine, constantly filming, and being held to a perfect standard is a recipe for stress. Even small incidents like the Embry Instagram joke compound this stress. What might seem trivial to an outsider can feel like another reminder of the imbalance in her life, the way she's overlooked, teased, or denied autonomy. And when the online community consistently points out these patterns, it's easy to see why fans interpret it as systemic rather than incidental. Some even predict that Saki might eventually reach a breaking point. If the most hated sibling decides she's had enough of holding the family image together, the fallout could be dramatic. Fans suggest that if she openly addresses how she's been treated both by family and collaborators, the carefully curated perfect family image could be seriously challenged, because right now, the brand is airtight, smiles, laughter, and perfectly edited content. But behind that polished exterior, there's a lot that remains unseen. For Saki, that could mean years of navigating an environment where her needs are consistently deprioritized, her frustrations minimized, and her autonomy restricted, all while the world watches her every move.